GDP figures for the financial year 2022 have now been released, and the GDP growth is at 8.7% for the year 2022. Remember, it was a year full of challenges, especially the last quarter. The last quarter had the Omicron wave hitting us in the month of January, and right after that, Russia invaded Ukraine, causing price rises and supply disruptions across the globe. But now we can see that the GDP figures for last year have been released. It's at 8.7%. But remember, it's important to note that this 8.7% is a growth over the contraction that we saw the year before in the pandemic year, when we saw the worst GDP contraction India has ever seen at 6.6%. So if we look at the absolute numbers, this GDP growth is in fact the highest we've seen in over 2 decades. It's the highest since 2000, but it's also important to remember that it also has a low base effect. This growth is above the 135 lakh crore GDP that was calculated in the year 2020-21, and this is an 8.7% growth over that. Before the pandemic, we had a GDP figure of 145 lakh crore, and then it went down to 135 lakh crore, and now it has grown 8.7% over that 135 lakh crore. But if we do look at the increase from pre-pandemic levels, the current rise is 8.7%, but over a 6.6% fall that we saw last year.